Welcome to Pop City. I'm Alyssa Niederman and
I'm Renae Medor.
And today we have an amazing guest. I haven't seen him in what would we just say about 10 years or so?
Yeah.
Our friend David Reese is here, and he is the man of many trades also. Our first episode, we called it Reinventing Ourselves. And I feel like this almost fits in. Not so much you're reinventing yourself, but you've done so many different broadcasting, radio, TV, you're a producer, goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and what's old is new.
Yes.
And first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes,
on your
he's
new
back in
Thank
town.
Director of NBC.
Now, so usually we start from the beginning, but I'm curious, what brought you to come back to do this broadcasting?
I had no intention of doing television again.
Oh, really?
No, this was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. So I came back to do. So I left the TV news thing behind at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was just I was done. I was done for a whole host of reasons, but then when the pandemic hit, it was like, okay, enough.
You were working in LA, right?
I was,
The
I had been
NBC?
news director here, and then I went back there to work at Fox 11, which is a local Fox station there. Right. And then, then we had a management changeover, which happens there all the time.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And I was kind of already there, and I kind of thought that was going to be my last swan song. I thought, I'll go out on top, upper management in a big LA TV station. And so then I decided to do my passion, which is radio.
Right.
And so I did that, and I went to Florida to do that because I couldn't get a license here.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason. I know.
Sorry,
I know.
Florida. Just wondering why you went.
No, that was not, and it was not what I expected when I got there. So I was there for 16 months, almost to the day, and I could not wait to get out. And you know what? When you have lived in California your entire adult life, and then you leave, you realize it's intangible, but it permeates everything.
Yes.
Right.
It's that California sensibility and sort of ethos, and when it's not there, those people, I was not in their tribe, and they were not in mine.
Right.
Yeah, and you need to find your tribe.
Yeah, and I never found my tribe there. I spent many nights just sitting at home going, I got invited places because of the radio station, but that's the only reason. So when a station popped up here that was available, we jumped on it, and so I came back here to do the radio station. And that's what I've been doing for the last 10 months. We went on the air in August of last year.
And it's disco-based, right?
It's disco and dance, yeah.
Now, were you looking for positions, or someone reached out to you in Florida and said, hey?
They reached out. I was already back here. So I came back here in September of last year to put the station on the air. We went on the air last August. Okay. And then I went back, got all my stuff, and moved back here.
Gotcha.
So I'd been here for a while, and then they recruited me. And I wasn't interested. I just was like, I'm done with TV news, and TV news as it stands now doesn't serve anyone anymore.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you see? Is it really changed quite a bit?
It hasn't, but the problem is it hasn't changed.
Oh,
that's the problem. Is TV news, all the ancillary things and all of the things you see on TV, the graphics, the set, the immediacy, the live coverage, all of that stuff has changed. But at its core, TV news hasn't changed what is news and the definition of what is news in 50 years.
Wow.
And so the whole culture has just, I think, moved past it. And the TV news folks are standing back there going, no, but this is what we do. And it's like, no, nobody cares.
Yeah.
And so I had a really frank conversation with the general manager when we first spoke. And I said, I'm not interested because I don't, what you do isn't appealing to me. I haven't watched a single newscast since I've been back in town. Not yours or anybody else's.
What did you have any creative, ideas that just they wouldn't take, or?
Yeah, well, there's so much inertia that holds a TV station in place.
Right.
The ratings and the competition for ad dollars and that kind of stuff. And the more the pie shrinks, the more the pressure,
Right.
And so there's a lot of things that keep TV news from trying things. And the great news is the station has a general manager who is willing to. He said, "Here, have the keys. Go drive it.
Wow.
Do what you want to do." And I said, "He goes, what do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to blow it all up." I said, "I want to completely change what the definition of news is, and I want to cover things that are celebrating our community as opposed to wallowing in the things that are not great. Because there's crime everywhere. We all know that.
We all know that.
And also, we have in a small newsroom with a lot of inexperienced journalists, this is a small starting market, they do what they've been taught to do, and there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. It's just it doesn't serve anyone anymore, and they haven't been taught a broader way of thinking. I'm like, so I put up signs in the newsroom that say, why? Why are you putting that in the show? Right. Why is that story important? If it doesn't fit through this new prism, we shouldn't do it. And it's going to take a while to change. I've only been there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we've had a newsroom meeting, and I've laid out my plan. And my plan is no more stabbings, no more car wrecks, no more mugshots of people who rob things. And, there's going to be public safety things that we need to cover, of course. And if the freeway's closed and you can't get to LA, we'll, of course, cover that.
And were they receptive to that?
I think so.
Good.
Yeah, they seem to be. And I think that, when I laid out why, I just laid out the ratings. And I said, if you want to know what we're doing and how it is resonating with the audience, it's not. Right. No one's watching.
Well, and to be honest with you, since COVID, I've stayed away from the news. It really affects your psyche. And you see it everywhere. Everybody's so negative, and it's just so
But at the
draining.
same time, do you think people are really sucked into that?
Everybody
sat in their house and they were depressed and scared.
But then they're just zoomed in on it.
And then people still, almost like they crave it. Like you have too much to drink and you want to stop, but you can't
It's
stop.
like a bad reality show. It's like it's so destructive. You're watching these ladies. You're like, oh my God, are they doing this again? Or
we used to laugh about it in LA about car chases. People would always tell people, we hate car chases. We hate car chases. Y'all watch them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because the ratings go sky high. The went on. So, but here's the thing. I don't think so, because there is a real distinction between, there will be a real distinction between my station and the other station, because the other station does a better job at covering that stuff, and NBC Palm Springs can't do that. We can't compete on that plane, so I'm like, then let's not compete on that plane. Let's chart a different course over here, and we will try to attract back the 98% of the Coachella Valley that's not watching TV news.
Yep.
98% don't watch. Wow. And so I'm like, do you want to stay here and fight over a percentage of the 2%?
Right.
Or do you want to go someplace else and see if we can get some of these people back? There's a whole pool of people who don't watch. And it's COVID. I think COVID was the last straw for people. I think that, the scared, dip your groceries in bleach and all. Remember all that stuff?
Everybody was doing it.
I'm still thinking about that now.
Right?
You think about it. Oh wait, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Right, and the thing is, people like we look back at that, we're like, oh, the TV news was scaring people. We didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know either. Nobody knew, and so we were just reporting what was being told to us.
Right.
And it turned out not to all be accurate, but that's always the case, and you can't shoot the messenger.
Right.
But the problem is the net effect of that, I think, was that people were already fatigued with news, and this was just like, click.
Right.
That was the end.
Right.
And we've given them no reason to come back. So what I want to do is cover things that I think will highlight the fact that there's a lot of amazing stuff going on in this valley. There is
so
amazing.
much going on. It's amazing.
Yes, and it never gets covered. Never gets covered.
I mean, that's, I think, why I keep, when I say reinventing, I lose my partners and then I'm left, to fend on my own. So I start anew, and thank goodness I have Renae. But that's what I want to keep doing. I want to bring out the best of this community.
Yes.
Yeah. There's so much good.
So many people made a choice to be here, and then look at COVID. Look at how many more people came here,
especially from LA.
Right, LA, in the big cities, LA, San Francisco, Seattle. They all came here. Why did they come here? They didn't come here because of the stabbing and the Circle K robbery.
No,
they came here because this is an important, special place to be, and we need to get in touch with that. And I always say in broadcasting, the best thing you can do is pick one thing and do it really well.
Right.
Exactly. If you try to be everything to everyone, you're nothing to no one.
Sure.
So pick one thing. So we're going to be about good stuff. Are we going to have to cover bad stuff occasionally? Yeah, I mean that's just a reality of the world. Right. But we're going to be very judicious about what it is we cover in that arena, and then I want us to try to do some context about why it's important. And I'm trying to get them to understand when you decide to put this story in the newscast, explain people why. Why are we telling you this? This is about taking the audience, not treating the audience like you're force feeding them information, like you know what's best for them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But also it's about telling them why you're doing something. Don't assume that they know. We can't make the assumption. There's no room for vagaries or for inference in television. Just if you put this story in because you think people need to know this, then say, this is why we put this in. We're telling you this now for this reason.
Right.
And people can agree or disagree, but this is why we're doing this. We just throw stuff up every day now and just assume that you know why we put it in.
Right.
And I'm like,
This is exciting.
I think so.
Exciting.
And this is why I'm doing it, because I mean, you don't get asked back to a TV station that you've already been at.
Yeah.
That's a huge compliment.
And you don't, and I'm really flattered that they asked me to come back. And
love it. Now I know, David, you've worked in stations in LA for over 20 years. Was that always a dream of yours, or it was?
Yeah,
okay.
This is all I've ever wanted to do was TV news.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. In fact, radio was a happy accident on the way to TV news.
Okay.
I was my high school had a radio station, and my mom was like, "Why don't you take radio instead of speech? It'd be more fun. You'll learn how to do, you get your voice all ready." And she was right.
Oh my
gosh. So I did that, and then the plan was always to go to TV news and to go into TV news management. That's what I wanted to do. I feel very blessed because I felt like then, when I left, I had left at the top of my game. I had made it to the very top of a major station in a major market. And so I was like, I'm finished. I did it. I'm good. And now I'm like, oh, there's another chapter yet to be written.
That's great.
And that's kind of exciting. There's a really important job in the newsroom called the assignment editor. Right. And the assignment editor is the one who really drives the bus every day on your coverage, okay? They know the vision, they know the plan, but they're the ones who get in the weeds and decide, we're going to cover this, we're not going to cover this, we're going to cover this. And that's what I did for a really long time. And it's a really important job. It's a thankless, stressful job, it's like air traffic control. And in a big newsroom, you got the chopper and satellite trucks and vans and all that stuff. But it's a really vital job because without that person doing that, it's like a room of cats and just going everywhere.
Right. Sure.
And so you got to, and so that job is open right now, and I need to fill it, and I need to fill it fast. But I the last 2 times I filled that position here at that station when I was here last time, I hired someone from ABC 7 in LA who'd been in the apprentice program, and they train people really well there.
Yeah.
But they train them in the way of doing, in that old way of doing news.
Right.
And I was like, I can't hire that because if I hire that, that's what I'm going to get.
Right.
Sure.
And they'll probably be really good at it. But that's not what I want. So then I'm like, well, what do I want then? And I'm still trying to figure that out. So if anyone knows, because I need somebody I want somebody who is aware of this community, because it took me a year when I got here as a news manager to figure out all the intricacies of who is connected to who and how. There is so much going on in this valley.
There is.
Not only
and not all of it.
Well, in the entertainment too, with Coachella.
Right.
I mean, it's just nonstop.
Exactly. All the layers of it. Yeah, and a lot of it, to your point, a lot of it is not always up here. It's just what's going on down here. And so I need somebody who at least, I think I need somebody who is connected in that realm a little bit. Maybe someone is doing, I don't know, PR or something, because I'm willing to teach them a TV piece of this if they come to the table, if they're smart and they have the aptitude for it, and they come to the table with the knowledge of the Coachella Valley. Right. I think I can teach them a TV piece of this.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's the way we should come at this.
What a great opportunity.
And so so we'll see. I'm like, where do I look for that person?
You're playing both parts? You're playing the
assignment? Yes, I am the assignment editor and I am the news director, and it's hard. Those are 2 big roles in the newsroom, and I want to get up out of the weeds a little bit so I can work on the bigger picture. But right now I'm very much in the weeds.
How are you balancing right now
with your radio show? Do you have a partner there, and do you run it? So, do you have interviews on your radio show as well?
I do sometimes, yes, and I do all of that.
Oh, wow.
Because I've done it for so long.
You're
that's
like the
easy.
Ryan Seacrest of
Palm
Palm Springs.
Oh my God, something like that. It is, the radio station. Luckily, the radio station largely runs itself. It's about time management. I'm 2 weeks in and I'm exhausted.
I bet.
But I also think that the more time I invest on the front end at NBC Palm Springs, the more I'll be able to, like the people that I hire, and the more I invest there, it will start to run itself as well. Sure. And I got some very sage advice from the person who promoted me up into an advanced role, and she said, the reason that you got into journalism is not budgets, it's not personnel, it's not schedules. So your challenge is to do all of those things, but then also to find something every day in the product that you can touch, that you can do something creative with, that can keep you in touch with why you started this in the first place.
It doesn't burn you out so quickly.
That's right, and that's really important. So I try every day, and I'm like, okay, I may not be in love with everything we're doing today, but I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're very excited that you're back here.
Thank you.
You have great energy.
And we're so excited you came to talk with us.
Before you leave, we have 3 questions for you.
Okay.
We always end with 3 questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this could even include yourself. So think somebody in your life that if you could thank right now for, it doesn't even have to be about your job. It could be about anything in your life. Who would you want to say thank you so much to?
My parents. I don't think I was an only child, and I'm adopted.
Oh,
and
wow.
my parents loved me with every fiber of their being, and they gave everything they had to make me who I am today. And I see so much of my parents in me in weird ways, and I feel like they prepared me for adversity, and they prepared me for things in ways that I didn't understand at the time, and I'm so grateful now.
That's amazing.
I love
Wonderful.
that.
That's
I'm
so
really
great.
thankful to my parents.
So I'm wondering if this will segue into the next question.
Okay.
If you could have dinner with anybody, dead or alive, right now.
Even my parents.
Yeah.
Because I know that they can see, right? I don't know where they are, and I'm not super religious, spiritual, not religious, but I know that I achieved what I wanted to achieve, and I got here because of the support that they gave me and the way that they raised me, you know? And I want them to know that, and I want them to know that I know that, and that I am so grateful to them because I wouldn't be here today without them.
Last question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good. If you could do anything, even if it's something you fear, probably mostly that's what we're going for, what would you do if you could get rid of the fear?
Oh my God, that's a good question. The whole world out there.
Yeah, I know, right?
I want to tackle something that scares the bejesus out of me. Right?
Yes.
What scares the bejesus out of me? I'm trying to think of my phobias. Like I'm scared of heights.
Then
really?
bungee jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Oh God, that would qualify. Yeah, like I can fly, but get me near the edge of a cliff. And,
I can actually talking about it makes my
even the and
Have
even
you
the
gone
edge.
up the tramway? Is that?
I've done the tram. I can do it. I don't love it because I absolutely anything in that vein. You know, walk out in one of those glass overlook things.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
No.
Well, you should have been on the stage too. Did you ever want to do that?
No, I never know.
No, you don't have that desire.
No, I really
I could
don't.
see you.
You think so?
Yeah, it'll be one of our lip sync shows. Okay.
A great
All right,
comedian.
you call
Yeah,
me.
you'll be on the stage.
Okay, all right, yeah. I've really never done anything on stage, to be honest with you.
Oh wow.
I never did. I think I did children's theater once and was just like, okay.
I'm done. Been there.
Did
did
it.
Did
Yeah,
it.
TV was my jam.
Well, we
Wonderful.
are wishing you the best.
Yes,
you.
and
I
we're
appreciate
excited
that.
for what's
Thank
to
you.
come.
And spread the word, please. Because
Oh,
you know what?
absolutely. Well,
this
we're
is going to
gonna
take a
post this
village.
and-
Yes, I know. That's why I'm here. I really
Yes,
want to spread the word. So
yes.
thank you
So
for
we will
inviting me. I'm
get on
super
it.
flattered that I made your list.
Yes,
So thank
of course.
you.
You're one of the
Thank
top
you.
5.
Oh, I appreciate you.
And thank you for being on Pop City with Melissa and
Renae Medor.
have a fabulous day.
Take care. Bye.